SoA certifications. So, we help them. I'm a SoA certified, so I help you in getting the certification, by telling you, okay, hey, these are some topics, and, this is the extra thing that you need to do. So till now we have discussed about what our course objectives are and what you are going, and we talked about our course agenda. Let's talk about what service-oriented architecture actually is. So we always learn this term called, service-oriented architecture. So if you see, it is built of two words called services and architecture. So we know that, architecture is nothing but the set of, a set of standards. So SoA is a standard. This standard is built by, it is not a proprietary of anybody. It's a standard which came up by the industry, in which the companies like Microsoft, Oracle, IBM all sat together and they came up with that. So when I say this, it's a set of standards. So obviously, this is not proprietary, and that's why I told you in the starting that there can be, you can move to different vendor products of SoA. So different vendors provide different implementation. So second word that is of the word called service. So in the service paradigm, it's always that there is a consumer and there is a provider, right? So the example of is, you must have seen that a Yahoo web service for weather is there. So what you do is, you just send the zip code to it, and it sends me the weather of that place. So you don't know how that service is implemented, what that service is. So that's what type of environment is created is called, the services. But in reality, we will tell you what service actually means and how to identify a service. In real sense, service is that part of business process which does one unique piece of work, like calling a order, creating a order. If it's a create order API or something, I send the order thing, it creates me an order back saying that, okay, hey, order is created or not. This is an example of service. So as we go ahead in our trainings, we will be telling you how to identify a service. So when you go to a client site, how you can say, hey, this is what I have as an architect. I say, this is a service, and on this, I will create a web service. So services is the lowest entity, and upon that, web services are the realization, and we will see about it. So if you see the definition, it says service-oriented architecture is architecture style of integrating loosely coupled interacting software services. We know what a service means. So here the word is loosely coupled, and that is what is very important. That is what is very important and why SoA is used. So what I mean by loosely coupled is, so let's talk a little bit about what the history of it was. So the thing was, when enterprises started growing, they started acquiring the good products, like they used the PeopleSoft for HR. They started using the Oracle apps for the order management. For other stuff like for CRM, they started using the Siebel. So obviously these are all disparate systems. So and information need to be exchanged between them. So what they started connecting all of them like this. So these connections can be the proprietary Java codes or EJBs, JMS, anything. You can think of anything. Even the simple DB links. If some people just connect their databases together. So the problem was, if tomorrow I wanted to add a new system, suppose the OTM or new system, so what I have to do is I need to create the integrations between all of them. So if you see, my environment is getting pretty clumsy now. It's pretty bad. So the maintenance costs started increasing, obviously, and adding to that, tomorrow I wanted to move about from Siebel because I have some new system called Salesforce. So I can't do that. This is a big change for my organization, and I have to put a lot of money. So in these cases, what I did was, so the SoA came to the rescue, and they said, let the systems be like this. And SoA as a middleware got created. So all those systems got exposed as a service and integrations are between SoA and this. So if you see, I can add any service at any given time. Even if I remove the system or put another, all of my business process of the other systems are not getting affected. So that's what is the meaning of loosely coupled systems. So SoA helps me in getting my system loosely coupled, platform independent in a way so that my overall cost of the system is less. And that's why you will see the SoA is gaining popularity. People are putting so much money into this so that they can reduce their cost of maintenance and enhancement later. So now coming to the point of what SoA Suite 11G are. So we are going to implement Oracle SoA Suite 11G. So here if you see the major components that a SoA 11G provides is the service infrastructure. So it is nothing but a bus type system where all the components, these are all called components, they are connected together. Mediators, which are used for routing and transformation for different systems. What I mean is, if Siebel is sending the data to two different places, I should be able to do it. Business rules. Business rules are the component which gives the variable rules. Suppose, like I want to say, if a customer is a platinum customer, give him 10% discount. During the festive season, I want to increase it to 15%. So obviously, I don't want to go through the change management of my company where it's a big change for me. So what I do is, let me put all these type of rules in my business rules so that they can be changed at the runtime. People is a part of something called it orchestrates the services. So we will see what orchestration means is, but in a way it is a place which helps you in writing your logics. Human workflows. So human workflows are like the places where you need human interventions in your business flow. Suppose your case is PeopleSoft, mostly organizations have PeopleSoft for their HR. You applied for a leave in a PeopleSoft system. And obviously, and here is my SoA layer, it goes to there, and then, sometime I want to, my leave needs to be approved by my manager. So if this is the case, so human task comes handy. So these type of all the cases belong to human task. So in this business process, depending upon what my manager says, either he approves or disapproves, only then the leave gets debited from my account. So these workflows are part of human task. MDS is the place where they are nothing but actually the tables inside the infrastructure, but they are the place where you keep the shared components like your XSDs, XMLs, and all that they are kept in the MDS. Registries, where the system where you can register your web services. If you have 100,000 of web services like Amazon, so they have thousands of web services, so they are kept there. B2B, if your organization is doing the transactions with its trading partners like EDI transactions, HL7 transactions, or RosatorNet transactions, they are all to be done using B2B engine. So B2B engine is counterpart of Gentron from the Sterling Commerce. So then we have something called a BAM. BAM, as I said, provides us the dashboard or the real-time dashboard. Suppose I want to monitor what is going through, how many processes are flowing through people, and all this, how many are passing, how many are failing. So these type of reports have to be generated, so they are generated using BAM. EM and SoA consoles. This is the place which helps me in monitoring my whole SoA suite as the system. I want to know what is the health of my system, what are the different parameters, or I need to change the parameters to prune my system, Java threads or whatever. So I have to use EM and SoA consoles for that. Web Service Policy Manager. Suppose you have to connect to web services like, for your authentication or authorization. For example, can be visa services. You are sending credit card information. So obviously these are secured services. So security is being come into picture using the Web Service Policy Manager, JDeveloper. This is the tool that you everybody will be having, and we will be using for as our front end for doing all writing all our codes. So all the codes are written in J12 and then deployed to the SoA suite. So this is what in all the SoA suite is. So the architecture that we will be having will be database. Upon sets the WebLogic server, WLS I will say. Upon sets the SoA server. And here will be your JDeveloper, where you will write the code and will be deploying it over here. And we will see different types of deployments for SoA, because how to do in production deployments, how to migrate between different environments. So these all those questions comes, we will be tackling. So what are the new features that SoA 11G provides? So I said Oracle, the SoA is in the from the Oracle, it is being there from past 8-9 years, but 11G is the latest release. So the 11G is a WebLogic release. So there was no concept of WebLogic in Oracle world. What they were having was OC4J. So the new things that they have added is service component architecture, which is a very new to the system. Unified infrastructure. Previously, all the components were disparate and they were having their own database and everything. But now, with this, they came up with something called infrastructure, and all components connect to it. Service data objects. For maintaining the transaction management, SDOs are used, and these SDOs can also be helps a lot to integrate using ADFs. SoA Composite Editor, which is a JDeveloper, they have changed the JDeveloper and they have provided the Composite Editor. Oracle Enterprise Repository, there was no concept of repository like MPS and all that now, but here in 11G they provided. Security management is enhanced a lot. Event delivery network. So now the SoA is, you can use lot of concept of events in SoA suite, like you can say, if rather than, events are, if some process completes, I say event is fired, and other processes can just start off listening to event. So EDN, so this is being used using the EDN or the event delivery network, and this is the new feature in SoA suite. ESB is now mediator. Oracle Service Bus, it was not there at all in the earlier releases, and in this release it is there. Better operation monitoring using EM. Previously, all the different components of SoA suite had their own console, but now since WebLogic is there and they have and the concept of domains and everything is there, so EM is the place which helps me in monitoring from single place, to all my components in the SoA suite. Better grade infrastructure using WebLogic rather than OC4J. So previously, Oracle had its own proprietary application server called OC4J. They have gone away with it, and they have provided they have added the best web application server in the web called WebLogic. So if you know, in the application server world, there are only two web servers. One is WebSphere and another is WebLogic. So Oracle has that one. So so these are the major important features that Oracle SoA Suite 11G has provided. So I'm open to questions now. If you have any questions regarding the slides or anything,
Unmuted.